Hi there. I don't know about you, but the first time I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it changed my life. Not only was it the first book that I read cover to cover 5 times in a row, and to date is the only book that I've read 5 times in a row, it introduced so many concepts that just blew my mind. Your house is not an asset. Cash flow from rental properties. The cash flow quadrant and how you're treated differently based on where you are in that quadrant. There were so many simple concepts that were yet so foreign to me when I read that book at 30 that it is frankly now embarrassing to admit. But again, as a young man growing up in my family where it was go to school, get a good job, climb the corporate ladder, you are successful. Rich Dad, Poor Dad shook that to its core and changed my life. What I wanted to do in this video is talk about what happens after you read that book and you change your life. Right? It was very much a book for me about changing your mindset and how you approach things, but it wasn't very actionable. So what I did after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad is I invested 15 years in buy and hold rental properties. That's what Rich Dad talked about. That's what Robert Kiyosaki talked about. So that's what I did. And what I've now created is what I really hope is the book that people look to after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book, one rental at a time, only available on Amazon as I'm a self-published author, is the chronicle or the story of what we did for 15 years, how we went from one house to financial independence. It talks about investing in a seller's market. It talks about being priced out. It talks about 1031 exchanges. It talks about hard money, private money, and ultimately getting to the point where you have financial independence. That's what I took from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's how can you build something over time and get to financial independence. So if you've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it shook you to your core like it did me, and you're looking for the book to do next and kind of how it happened and how someone did it, this is the one. Go to Amazon.com, one rental at a time. You can look, last time I checked, I had over 60 5-star reviews from other real estate investors. So it's been around a while, but I just thought I'd get around to thanking Robert Kiyosaki, Kim Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad team, because again, you changed my life. The other thing that's really important that wasn't in the book for me anyway was how do I learn a market? How do I take a market of my choosing and understand what's a bad, average, good, and great deal? That took a long time to figure out, but I have now systematized it. I now believe it's a skill that all of you can learn. I now have created an online course that is on Teachable that I will share in a link below, but it allows you to take the mind shift of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, creates lots of activity right out of the gate so that you can learn a market. And again, if you are a busy employee like I was, and you're looking to get out of the rat race, you believe in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, this is a how-to. This is pick your market, learn your market, and ultimately only buy good and great deals. That's what I've done for you. Do me a favor, check out the course, certainly buy the book. I think it's the great compliment to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But check out the course. I'll send the link so you can check out the outline. Also, check out my YouTube channel, One Rental at a Time. Please subscribe. I do my best to have daily content for free given away to help the buy and hold investor, landlords, the real estate market in general. So again, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, Kim Kiyosaki, Sharon Lechter, for that matter, who I believe was a co-author of that book. Thank you very much. All those years, nearly 20 years ago, your book changed my life, my wife's life, and ultimately set us up on our path to financial independence. So thank you very much. Go check out the book. Thanks.